Hey guys, welcome to another installment of Grub, which is food for your subwoofers. And today I'm going to be talking about Secret Life of Pets, as well as a few other things that are kind of relevant to this. And as you can see, I've got my amplifier kind of wonky to the side there. I've been doing some A/B testing with speaker wires, and so watch out for the next video on that. I just kind of left the setup the same here. But with this particular movie, I thought maybe it was a good time to talk about the dogs and also explain why Angel's got a cone on her. I'll go on to that toward the end of the video. But, you know, this whole channel is talking about stuff that I think is cool or that you guys would like, or, you know what I mean? It's a lot about what you should get. And I don't spend a whole lot of time on what you shouldn't get. And one of the things, I mean, I guess I do. I talk about some stuff I wouldn't do, but I use the dogs as a way to kind of make the channel a little more interesting, and you know, I think it's good. Obviously, they're cute dogs, are fun to look at, but I would be one of the last people to recommend going out and buying a dog like this or getting these dogs. You know, and I guess I'll get into that in a minute. But back to the movie, you know, the movie Secret Life of Pets, it had some good bass, had some good Atmos effects. Nothing really stands out necessarily as being, hey, wow, remember that moment. But it was all just, it was good and thick. And what I mean by thick, you'll hear me say that about a few different things. When I say thick, I mean it's got good bass. It's not anemic sounding. There's good low end. So that I appreciated. And of course, you know, my wife and I like the movie a lot because Duke kind of looks like a Newfoundland. And is he or isn't he? And I guess, you know, he could be any big dog, but he definitely has some Newfoundland traits, and they definitely missed the mark on some of it if they were trying to make a Newfoundland. You know, one thing they really nailed is the body language, particularly when he goes roaming through the house and knocking stuff over and just being a big old lug. That's pretty accurate, because there, he's definitely a big old lug. And I'll get closer to him so we can kind of see these guys. Sorry, I'm totally professional here. But this is Bear, and Bear is a Newfoundland with a little bit of Great Pyrenees in him. And, you know, he's a good boy. You know, he was, both of these dogs were actually rehomed. We basically adopted them from their original owners because they couldn't take care of them. And it's not, I think that's one thing that gets missed. You know, in this movie they talked about, you know, flushed pets. And they made it sound as though flushed pets are pets that nobody really wants. And particularly when it comes to dogs like these and other pets and things like that, it's not so much whether the animal is wanted or not, whether you want the pet, it's some other situation. You know, you can't handle them, or they require more exercise than you can provide, or, you know, the vet bills are too expensive, you know, stuff like that. So a lot of times it's like that. I mean, you know, with Angel, she came from a home, very nice people, but she's a Tibetan Mastiff, and they were accountants, and they worked a lot of hours, and I'll tell you why that's not so good in a moment. And Bear, you know, his former owner, he had a really bad back, so he couldn't really take care of him. And believe me, I understand that. So I think, you know, the whole flush pet thing was kind of, I don't know, not misleading, of course, but I guess kind of missing the mark as far as why a lot of these dogs need to find new homes. And so, you know, these dogs weren't unloved or unappreciated. I mean, both of these dogs came from owners that loved them. Okay, it was just a situation where they couldn't handle the dog anymore. And so when I see a movie like this, it's like, are Newfoundlands now going to become a popular thing? And I won't say that's necessarily a bad thing, because a Newfoundland is a very good dog, but man, they require a lot of energy, and they like to play a lot, and they're goofballs. And particularly their grooming is really expensive. His grooming is expensive. Hers, not so much. Because of her fur and the way her body is, she can go 6 months without getting a bath and you wouldn't know it. She still smells clean. It's the weirdest thing ever. She can go out and roll around in a big old pile of mud. And like seriously 2 hours later, she's clean. Her fur just sheds it. And as you can see, she was born blue and she turned white. And I think they call that a bald coat or something, but because of that reason she was fixed, which I'm really bummed about because she's a really good dog. I would love to have a puppy from her, but she's that's long since no longer an option. But she's a really sweet dog. But she's a brat, and I'll tell you about that here in a second. Tibetan Mastiffs, here so you can see her roots there. Kind of cool. But yeah, she hasn't been able to scratch her own ears, so I got to do that for her. But Tibetans are, I mean, if I had to caution against one of these dogs more than the other, it'd definitely be the Tibetan. And I'll tell you why. You know, with a Tibetan Mastiff, you have to be 110% alpha, 110% of the time. And, you know, what I mean by that is, if a Tibetan thinks they know better, good luck convincing them otherwise. If they just think that you just don't know what you're talking about, they're going to go with their instinct. That's all the convincing they need. They're just going to do their thing and just assume you don't know what you're talking about. And that's really, you know, that can be a problem with a dog this size. And, you know, they're a very intuitive dog. As far as dogs go, I trust her instinct a lot, especially when it comes to people she doesn't like, because there aren't very many she doesn't like. And so she's very, very chill dog around people. It's really not a problem. But, you know, and also too, you know, with dogs like this, you know, what someone like me or someone else who owns these dogs may find endearing, it may actually push someone else beyond a breaking point where they can't handle it. For example, Bear likes to bark at full volume in the middle of the night over nothing, and you know, you need a little defib action to get the heart going again. But other than that, you know, he's a sweet and fun dog. But like his nails, we got to trim his nails like every 2 weeks because they grow really fast. And I don't know, there's just little things, you know. All these, like, we got these dogs for free, but they are definitely not free. You know, they eat about, I don't know, probably between $60 to $100 worth of food a month. So, you know, that's all a factor. But the food is kind of the minor thing. Really, the grooming part's the expensive part for Bear. But, you know, to give you an idea of, like, the problems with the Tibetan, okay, like, after the dogs eat, they go outside and they go to the bathroom. Like, that's just their thing. Where you going, Bubba? Huh? You getting bored with this? So they go out and they do their thing, you know, it's a normal thing. But I'll go and I'll say, hey, Angel, you want to go outside? And she perked up her ear then. But, you know, she'll be like, no, I don't want to. And then, you know, it's like, I know you need to go to the bathroom. But she'll just, no. She just, you know, it's like I'm asking her like it's an option. I want her to go outside. But she's like, no thanks. It's this constant thing of chess where they will test you. And, you know, it's a game that you need to win 100% of the time to prove that you're worthy. If you can't prove that you're a strong alpha, they'll just stop taking you seriously. And that's a problem with a dog that size. They have to respect you. And I'm not saying to be alpha you have to beat them or any crap like that. I don't believe in that. But you have to be very firm and be very clear in what you want and what you don't want. And, you know, it's tough. It's just, they're a challenging dog, you know. And so, and if you don't call them on that kind of stuff, if she says, oh, I don't want to go out, and then you let her win that little battle, and then you go sit down, you get comfortable, that's when she'll get up and, you know, say she wants to go out. And so at that point, they realize who's in control. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's challenging. So, and if you're not on top of that, that can cause a situation where you may end up having to find a new home for your dog because you cannot control them, at least not in a way that's you know, good enough for you. You know, so I love these dogs. I don't want you guys to get me wrong, but I want to be very clear in what that entails and what the challenges are and stuff like that. Like, I got Bear knocking on the garbage can. He knows I don't like that, but you know, they're brats. But that's what dogs do. We call him Butter Bear because he likes to surf the counter for butter. So, you know, things like that. It's you know, again, what some people might find endearing, other people may just be lose their minds over. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, you know, I don't know. I just want people to be more aware of when it comes to dogs like this and what's going on and really what they're getting into. And, you know, I guess that brings me into the point of what happened with her. There's a new dog next door that's been there for a few months. And this dog aggravates her, just taunts her, and it just drives her nuts. And you know, they go off on each other, like both dogs are barking at each other, going nuts. And I made it real clear I don't want her to be doing that. And what happened was, you know, the neighbor's dog is a pit bull, and the fence broke. I don't know whether Angel broke it or whether the other dog broke it. It's really hard to tell, but the other dog latched onto her nose and wouldn't let go. And let me tell you, that's a sound you don't want to hear coming from your dog. It was very, very upsetting. But we took her in, got her stitched up, and it took about 10 stitches. And she's about ready to get them off now, but it's still, you know, she's not going to have a perfect nose anymore. Her modeling career is over, but she still has a home here. That's a good part. But anyway, I just wanted to talk to you guys about this. I figured it was a great time to talk about it with giving her situation, and you know, had she just listened to me and stayed away from the fence, she'd probably be just fine, but you know, she knew better, right? So that's the chess. That's the amount of stuff that you have to do. You know, that's the mind struggle, and you have to win that with the Tibetan. And even sometimes you think you've got it, and then this happens. So you know, this is the less bright part about owning pets. But would I trade it? Heck no. I love these dogs, and you know, they love me, and it's a cool thing. So, but anyway, as far as Secret Life of Pets goes, I don't know. It's like, again, it's a cartoon movie. It's got good stuff, good base. You know, and I've thought about doing movie reviews where I just kind of ruin them, tear movies apart. For example, San Andreas. Kind of bent a few things, bent a few rules there in that movie. But I don't know. I kind of like doing it to where this channel's about fun and things like that. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you want to hear me just rip apart on movies, let me know. If that's the kind of thing that is kind of a turn off, that's cool too. I don't need to do it. But it's something I could do, because a lot of times, you know, a lot of the movies that are fun on a system like this can be kind of ridiculous. So you know, there's definitely a lot of material there. So I don't know. Let me know if that's something that interests you guys. But anyway, guys, I just hit 2,000 subscribers, and it kind of happened the other night, and it just kind of got away from me. I didn't even realize it. And but thank you guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate SVS. You know, becoming their affiliate. And they, if you guys don't know, they provide all the speakers and stuff like that in the room and things like that. So they've been real supportive of the channel and things like that. So I appreciate them. I appreciate you guys most of all, of course. It's been awesome. But I just want to share the whole dog thing with you guys, so you can kind of get an idea. And you know, I've had some people request more videos about the dogs and things like that. So I thought I'd do it, and given the thing that happened with her, I figured it was an appropriate time to talk about the downsides. And just so you guys know, this here and that was where they shaved her for the surgery. So this is the only spot that got her. But other than that, she's healthy. She's almost done. She's about ready to have her stitches out. But Bear was fine. He was a good boy. Oh, by the way, just so you guys know, he twerks. So, but yeah. So that's my dogs. Oh, and he wraps around you too. So, but anyway, I love these dogs, and I'm not saying don't ever get dogs. I am saying be careful when it comes to big dogs, particularly Tibetan Mastiffs. They're a different animal altogether. I could do several video series on them. And even Newfoundlands, you know, it's still, I mean, they're a good dog. They're very sweet and docile and stuff like that. But, you know, definitely I think a little easier for families. But, you know, particularly with Tibetan, just be careful. You know, dogs, big dogs of any kind, of course. But I do love them, and I certainly enjoy them. I don't have to bend down to pet them, so that's another good thing. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and please subscribe.